for Commodities Market Update. We have Bolanle Agbaje, our senior analyst, a financial directors company, join us. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Yeah, so we did hear the president of the Cocoa Association there, and it is impacting the industry, this cash scarcity. It's incredible how cash dependent that industry is.
It's new information that has kind of surprised us, in the sense that we did not expect. After we've been talking back and forth about this improving our agricultural industry, and it's sad to hear that one of our major non-oil exports is still heavily dependent on cash, despite the fact that we've spoken severally about improving advancing in terms of technology, and the fact that they still rely on humans to move some of these cocoa bags onto trucks and all of that. At this point, it would make more sense to have improved in terms of using technology to do all of that and improving efficiency within that space. But nonetheless, it's still sad that we're having this cash crisis, and I wouldn't not mention the fact that the CBN is still, not doing things right in terms of that. And it's a sad one for us, because right now we're seeing shortfalls in terms of supply from Ivory Coast, and now is the time to benefit significantly from that. And here again, we can't. And right now, the price of cocoa is about 2,777,000 per ton, and it's quite huge at the moment. And it would be nice to benefit from this, considering the fact that external reserves has dwindled significantly.
Because we don't want to miss out on oil, and also miss out on this cocoa prices. That would be a crime.
Yes, and it would be nice for those associations to do more and take advantage of this opportunity to do more to improve the lives of those farmers. Right now, I'm quite surprised that some of those farmers can't even make simple transfers. I understand that in some of those areas you most likely wouldn't find banks. I know those mobile money operators have tried really hard to make sure that they're in places that some of these banks don't have branches, but it also it also speaks on the lack of infrastructure as well, because I don't see how a bank would position themselves in areas like that when they don't have access to good electricity, some of these aiding infrastructure that would make business great for them. So
it's incredible how one branch will service over 50,000 people. How they manage that?
Exactly.
Even though at Bolanle we have all these problems, but I feel there's still opportunity here.
No, there's definitely opportunity, but some of these opportunities require huge investments. So all those kinds of investments are really deterred, because Nigeria is currently not in a stable position, because the Nigerian the bond markets, analysts in the bond markets also mentioned the fact that they don't see, even after the elections, they don't see Nigeria balancing up anytime soon. And the fact that Nigeria is currently terrible at the moment, so they don't see how a new whoever it is that has been elected, they don't see how he could do much worse in the country. And that already speaks to where they're thinking. And currently our bonds are doing terrible at the moment, or one of the worst. And so those are some of the reasons why we're not seeing that kind of investment. Typically it would most likely come from abroad, and that's not the case. But we do hope that after all of this dies down, when there's proper when things have regulated, we expect that some of these opportunities would be taken advantage of.
I'm sure everyone looking forward to post-election.
Exactly, and I'm sure some of them are also taking note of some of those opportunities and will come in at the right time to take advantage of them.
Because at the end of the day, we know the fintechs, they've been pushing hard.
For the fintechs, I know that going forward from this, they're most likely going to improve on their technology. It's weird that they always wanted this traction within their banks, but they did not have the technology to support that system. For crying out loud, like me, for example, I haven't been able to make transfers during the day. I usually wait till night when the traffic is not necessarily much, and that's when I am able to transfer easily.
And now now everyone knows that there's no traffic at night, so everyone might move to the night. You might not get that.
I wouldn't be surprised, but, I've called the bank severally, and they keep mentioning the fact that, I should just, wait it out. They're having issues with their apps, all of that. So they weren't prepared for this, and it's quite sad. I saw, the bankers, the president of the Bankers Association actually mentioned that they weren't prepared. They didn't have time to properly prepare for this implementation, and it's a one-off thing. It's not something.
Time. 1 year before?
Well, in other countries, we've seen examples of, the fact that they give them about 8 months, some up to 1 year, to ease out the pressure because we're heavily cash dependent. And it's surprising to see the numbers and see the fact that, a lot of people in Nigeria rely on cash. And I think it comes down to the lack of trust of the banking system. In this day and age, you still hear a lot of, Nigerians they mention the fact that, I cannot keep my money in the bank. I'm not sure if I'll be able to get it. Or some of those issues. So they'll rather hold the cash and know that whatever happens in the country, they have their emergency, money. And I'm sure the panic would even follow on till the end of this week, because nobody knows how the election will go. If it will be safe, if it will go as planned. And so I'm sure by Thursday, Friday, you'll see most individuals trying to protect themselves, stock up in their houses, and if they don't have the cash to do that, it would obviously cause some problems during this week.
And I was saying the other day, it is annoying, when elections happen in Africa, you hear things about stocking up and all of that. Why can't it just be a regular? But that's where we find
everyone is
ourselves
scared about it, and they just want to try and protect themselves as much as they can.
But I am expecting a peaceful election, and we're going to have the election.
It's mostly what we do expect and what would like to happen, and we do hope that is how the elections go on Saturday.
All right, let's circle into the oil market now. We see Brent, big drop today, about 1.21%. Is it still recession fears again, or is it China this time?
No, definitely recession fears. Obviously, these are the fears that have been happening, for the past few months, and it's still going to linger until the world economy gets to a position where, central banks, for example, are now easing out. They're showing signs of, some of these economies moderating, and so it's the back and forth situation, or the pull and push, that we'll see with commodity prices, and oil is not an exception. But obviously, the issue of Russian cutting oil production as well, I think that had already been priced in, so we're not seeing that impact on oil prices. But the good news is that the Chinese demand hope is also coming into light. The fact that they had increased or created new refineries that is expected to increase demand by about 1.2 million barrels per day, which is great, and about 4.4 million barrels per day for the next 2 years, which is good. And also the expansion plans with existing refineries as well. So that's great for us, and so a lot of analysts do expect that oil price will touch $100 per barrel at some point this year.
And I see our production is inching up.
Yes, so it will definitely inch up once you correct all those issues there, because we're blessed with the natural resource. So once you correct all those issues of theft, vandalism, and all that, it will definitely start inching up slightly.
Yeah, because I know the Melekiari did mention that we got an uptick in our production. That was in 2022. So that was good news.
Yes, it's great news, and we do hope that it keeps going higher till about 2 million barrels per day, because that's what we can actually produce. And going forward, I think they also mentioned the fact that they're increasing the amount of refined oil that is entering the market as well. So the risk of oil scarcity happening again is not likely from their own, although I did see some queues as I was coming towards this area. And so we do expect that we inch up with our production in the next few months.
What's happening, with the Naira and the parallel market? I see it did appreciate about 0.26%, even with all this pressure we're seeing with the Naira.
Yes, so no, there's scarcity of Naira, so that obviously gives you an indication where, once you have, Naira has been pulled out of the market, you definitely...
Do we have that much dollars?
Well, we don't have that much dollars, but you'll still have to feel the impact of the shortfall in Naira on the price, and with the dollar situation, I know obviously you have a lot of agents or Nigerians that actually look for ways to convert their Naira into dollar because they feel more secure in that. But I don't think they're able to do that as much because there's actually no dollar. And obviously the Naira cash squeeze as well would obviously feed into. But the appreciation wasn't that much. In a case where you have enough dollar in the system and a situation where the Naira is squeezed this much, the appreciation should be, the percentage of the appreciation should be way more than this. But it's just the little squeeze that we're seeing and the little dollar in the market that is affecting, the situation. But all in all, we're still at about 750, and it's still not great for us. Hopefully, going forward with whoever takes on, we do expect that there is unification of exchange rates to start with, and then we can proceed from there. Without that, I don't think would see significant appreciation from the and I think Nigeria also suffers from price stickiness as well. A situation where you see, for example, domestic commodity prices, when you see it inch up, significantly, it never comes down. It's very hard for it to come down, and so we do suffer from price stickiness, and I think that's what we're also facing in the exchange rates market as well.
And I'm talking about domestic commodities there. I see perishables are on the way down, while you see the other dry foods rising.
So for perishables, if some of those market sellers if they don't sell those perishables, they lose. So they have no choice but to make sure that they sell the perishables. But the non-perishables, they can get away with stocking them for as long as they can, or restricting them if, some of those buyers don't have the cash for it. But the perishables will definitely go because it's a lose-lose for both parties. And
we definitely don't want to see, the sellers lose at this point.
Exactly.
Because
that's actually
going to add to poverty, if they're selling at loss.
No, with the poverty issue, it's definitely going to happen. More Nigerians are going to remain poor or even become poorer in this next few months. It's a tough one, but
quite a tough pill to swallow.
A very tough pill to swallow, but it's a no-brainer with whatever is happening in the market. You have, from your report, you see a lot of people, business owners, they're suffering. They're not making sales. People are not coming to buy. For some people that they feel they can do away with some of those, products, they wouldn't buy it because they don't have the cash. Their hands are tied, in actual fact. So facing all of that, it will trickle down to, the lower class, and it will definitely bite hard for them.
Right. Well, we pray all of this blows off at some point soon. I want to thank you so much, Bolanle Agbaje, Senior Analyst, Financial Derivatives Company. It was great having your perspective today.
Thank you for having me.
All right, we'll take a moment now.